Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us once again on this Discipline Therapy Thursday with your two incredible hosts, Mr. E.L. Discipline and Sujey Sotomayor, for season 11, episode 113. But before we get into that, you know how we do, got to clear the energy, clear the air. Damn, that was loud, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be better this season.
That's what they're saying, see? Still going. Still going.
Very nice.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know y'all fiends and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free, as we are on Patreon for plenty of content exclusively for you to see. But what is free is it's judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite bowl of blunt. But make sure children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here. All right. So we have season 11, episode 113. Do we really care about or desire equality, or do we just want special treatment? And we have returning guest, you said? Mr. Yield Discipline? All right. Hello, guest. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Do you want to remain anonymous or do you want to state your name?
Oh, I'll introduce myself. My name is Aria.
Hello, Aria. Thank you for coming back on the show.
We appreciate it. Also appreciate asking your husband permission to come on the show.
Yes.
Of course.
Aria's Instagram, I don't know if you have Facebook or anything else, but her Instagram is in my proper place. In dot my dot proper dot all the many dots.
There's dots all over the place.
I was about to say there's a dot between each word. Yeah, we don't have a Facebook, but my husband and I do run the podcast, the Disciplined Life Podcast, and that can be found on YouTube as well as Instagram.
All
Yeah,
right.
follow that too. All right, so we're gonna get into it.
So the topic was, do we really care about or desire equality, or do we just want special treatment? Which do you think?
I definitely think that people desire special treatment, but I also don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing either. And I definitely I agree with you. I think women desire both. But I think men, I don't think they really care because they're, in most cases, like maybe in the workforce, they're already like top of the food chain kind of. So I don't think they really care too much about equality. And I think everybody, likes to have that special treatment once in a while.
Right. And I don't know if women care about special treatment as much as they want that differential treatment that men seem to have, that they perceive men to have. And so they don't want equality, they want that version of special treatment, if that makes sense.
Okay. Mr. Discipline?
Do we want equality in intimate, romantic relationships, business, workplace, and society?
I was going to say, like, I think workplace and business, perhaps there is a drive for equality in those situations, but in romantic relationships, there's definitely a drive for special treatment on both sides. I mean, a man wants to be treated, a certain type of way by his woman, and women have certain expectations of men, and it's not equality. It is definitely to be treated in a different and special way.
I agree with that.
Is equality deployed when indeed really it's about special treatment? For example, fake it till you make it. Once we're in the door, we can show our true selves. So is equality deployed, but in reality, it's about special treatment? What do you think?
I do think that you're onto something there. because I think that, most people want that acknowledgement and they want that recognition, and that is a form of special treatment. And so I definitely think that there is something to, using equality as a ploy to kind of start the conversation, start the relationship, start the interaction, but then you want to be recognized, you want to be on top as far
Mm,
as like getting that special treatment.
mm. So, in any relationship, would do you think people want special treatment or equality more?
Oh, I definitely think people want special treatment more in most every relationship. I can't think of one example where people truly desire equality and their actions back
Reflect
up,
it? Mm.
reflect what they are saying with their words.
What is your stance on gender equality?
I don't think it exists. I don't think it can exist, and I don't think it should exist.
Okay.
Interesting.
Society, work, and pay.
Um, well, as far as pay is concerned, I do think that there is a um, gender pay gap, but I think that it makes sense because of the way women and men function in the workplace. And what I mean by that is that men start their careers and they continue their careers throughout their adult working lives. Um, Many times in the same career, building that experience and building that seniority, where women, even if they start in that same career, they're more likely to go part time, take time off when during family building years. They're also more likely to take lower paid positions for the purpose of like fulfillment and happiness. Women also are more likely to go into fields that are just generally lower pay. And women don't go into more manual labor positions that have higher pay potential. So the pay gap exists, but it exists for a reason, and inequality and unfairness is not that reason.
Mm.
In relationships, men are supposed to lead. What does that mean?
In my opinion, I think that that means that men have the responsibility. As women, we want our man to protect and provide, and that comes with a certain level of responsibility. And with responsibility comes authority. And so when men lead the relationship, it means that his career, his, um, you know, decisions are priority. And that's why as women we have to be careful to choose a man who his decisions are based on wanting, if it's a long-term relationship, if it's a serious relationship, we want his decisions to be based on the what's best for everyone, including ourselves. And part of that is um you know where are we going to live? What are we, as simple as like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go for dinner? Things like that. And a man has to be able to lead without that pushback from the woman constantly. There's a difference between sharing your opinion or sharing, your thoughts and then respecting his decision at the end of the day versus sharing your opinion with the expectation that it's going to manipulate his decision.
Hmm.
Mm. I like that answer.
If a woman makes as much money as a man in the relationship, should she be an equal still in that relationship?
N No, because you can't really have a relationship with 2 people having completely equal decision-making power and completely equal pull. There has to be one leader and there has to be a follower. um, someone that follows that leadership. And so because, what if there's a decision and they completely disagree? There has to be one person that says, okay, as the leader, I get to pull rank here and this is what we're doing. Because without that ability, then the relationship has a huge potential to completely crumble. Someone's going to be unhappy, someone's going to be resentful, and that might still happen. But if there's an understanding of authority and submission, then you're less likely to have that ongoing resentment.
And I'm gonna throw in there that good communication skills also, because
Oh,
even if
absolutely.
even if one doesn't agree and it comes down to, well, I'm pulling rank, pull rank and then we're gonna talk about it, or let the man say, I'm gonna pull rank, and then we can talk about it after so that you can feel better about it. But definitely communication. Now, why do you think a man desires a submissive woman and then complains she's being too submissive?
Hmm. That's interesting. I think that some men, um, I think all men desire a certain level of submission from their woman. And, but sometimes I think that some men are either so used to, or they like having that challenge, that if a woman is truly 100% submissive and she never gives any pushback, there's never any um back and forth between them, then maybe he has the potential to miss that sort of like conquest desire. You know what I mean?
It's like that song or that saying, um, you know, the bad girls ain't no good, but the good girls ain't no fun.
Right, right.
Like I'm not saying I believe that, but
There are some
that
men, you're
makes
saying.
sense because it could go in the opposite route for the women's perspective. The good guys ain't no fun.
Mm-hmm.
The bad boys ain't no good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I also think it's a man that doesn't really know himself. Like, you know what I mean?
That
Like,
I
that's true too.
yes, but I think we're not gonna get into a debate. We're gonna let you get back into it. I just think people in general like balance.
mm-hmm.
Me, I'm different. You know what I'm saying? But and some women out there might be different too, but um some men and women, I believe they like balance. So maybe if she's too perfect, that's not balance for me. I need just a little
Hmm.
crazy, a little pushback, or maybe like a little jealousy to see if she really cares or if she's normal or whatever. And the
Mm.
woman might think the same way. I need a little, he's too
Something.
good. I need a little
Right.
toxic.
It might make them uncomfortable, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need like it's too good to be true. And that kind of scares people.
Mm.
Well, and I do think like those like quote unquote perfect partners, the perfectly submissive woman,
Fictitious.
it is. It absolutely is. Like, do they exist? Maybe, but I haven't met one. I've never met one that is because we all come with our lived experiences, and those
Mm-hmm.
experiences will dictate how we act in the
And
world.
trauma. Like once
Yes.
we've experienced trauma, even if you heal from that, there's no coming back from it. Like
Hmm.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you always carry it
It
with you.
just comes down
Oh,
to I'm sorry. It just comes
oh no.
down to how you react to it and how you're going to navigate through life for it because
Hmm.
you're going to get triggered,
Yep.
whether it's going to be a new relationship you think you healed and you're
Yep.
ready to date. It's going to be a new relationship, somebody, a word,
Something.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we will always be triggered. We will always have that trauma. It just comes down to how we navigate through it,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
but go ahead.
Why would a woman desire a dominant man when it favors her and then complain or shame or try to change him for the same thing that attracted her to him?
I definitely think that it's because, you know, maybe it comes back to the trauma response. She has this intrinsic desire for a dominant man, but maybe she's had
Mm.
a bad experience. Maybe she has certain ideas because of society or because of her own mother. Um, and so she has that desire within her, but she also has, she's too in her head about it.
Mm.
I was on Instagram, scrolling reels, and there was a video of a woman who basically was like, I want a man that'll protect me, provide for me, pay for all the dates, take care of me, but is, a liberal man who, you know, wants equality and won't hold me back and doesn't want me to be like the submissive,
Mm.
docile housewife. And it's like, well, you can't have both
Right. She's expecting
most
a
of the
lot from him.
time.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, without really saying that she's willing to meet his expectations at all.
Mhm. That's a good question.
Do you know that women in positions of power tend to be more or desire to be more submissive? Do you believe this to be true? And why would you say it is true if it is true?
Um, hmm. That's an interesting question. That's not my experience personally. Because, well, I will say, like, sometimes when I have moments in my life where I have to be more dominant or more in charge in situations outside of my relationship that never happens within my relationship, I have this desire for my husband to put me back in submission because I just need that release. So it could be that if you are regularly in positions of leadership and power in your everyday life, that you really need that break and that release and that return to your more natural state.
I agree with that.
Well, it is a true statement. Even statistics show it for years. It is a true statement. Um, but you're saying on your perspective why you think it would be true and
Right.
subjectively for you.
Right.
Why do you think women though would desire to be this and believing that it's true? Why?
Why would they desire to be put into submission?
Yeah.
I think that's because that's when you get down to the biological design of women, we were made for to be led. We were made to submit. And that natural inclination, that nature that we have within us that was developed over years of evolutionary experiences doesn't just go away because we had the Industrial Revolution and we have higher education and we have jobs that don't require brute physical strength. And so that desire lives within women
Mm.
whether they want to admit it or not. And if they go outside of that natural design in their work life, then they seek that to still experience that in their relationships.
Mm. I agree. I think it's because if they're like that, on their day to day with different people all the time, it gets tiring. It gets
Oh, for
tiring
sure.
having to be the one that people come to for the answers. What do we do? How do we do this? It takes a toll on, I think, on your mind, on your body,
Mhm.
obviously. So definitely.
What other circumstances would make a woman or a man not desire to be equal or want special treatment?
Um, oh gosh. I think that, every circumstance, I think that when you're in a romantic relationship, to a certain extent, men want to, you know, some men want to basically show off. They want to show up with the nice car. They want to take their woman out to a nice dinner. They want to pay because they want to kind of showboat and say, look at me. I look at what I can provide for you. And they want the woman to kind of dote on them. They want that like
Mm.
acknowledgement of like, oh, you're amazing. And women want to show up and be treated like a princess. They want to be, they want their doors opened, they want to be treated to the nice dinner. They want to, show up looking a certain way so that the man will be like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous.
Mm,
And so, that's one way that people want that uh special treatment. I think in the workplace, you're always, you know, going above and beyond. You're trying to submit your work early or do it better so that your boss will be like, "Hey, your report was the best one." Because you want that acknowledgement, you want that special treatment. Even if it doesn't get you a promotion, maybe you're hoping it will one day, but you want to be favored
mm.
in the workplace. Even walking down the street, women want to be like the most beautiful woman or the most commanding presence, and they try to present themselves to be perceived that way.
If we eliminate sex, manipulating, and projections from relationships, would we as a whole begin to build more loving relationships, you think?
Um, that's an interesting question because I definitely think that like manipulation should be done away with. We should stop trying to manipulate our partners.
Mm,
Um, because communication and voicing your needs and having adult conversation works so much better
mhm, and it's healthier.
and it's way healthier. Um, to me it's such a foreign concept to eliminate sex from a relationship because to me that is such an integral part
Mm,
of relationship building. It's very intimate. It brings closeness. It brings to me, sex is part of like good communication and good connection, and
mhm,
that drives the development of a relationship. But if you completely eliminate that, it doesn't mean that you can't have that development of the relationship. And maybe for some people, that's what needs to happen
mm.
in order to build those skills outside of sex.
What about projection?
So
Right. So,
the ending, how
mhm,
you ended it, that's pretty much what we meant.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
earlier, you're speaking from a subjective perspective, but
Hmm.
we're asking you as like more of like a general population of
Sure.
people in their relationships. Um, I'll talk after. Let's let her keep going. Um, if we were more aware of the unknown double standards in society, do you think more would change for the better in society? If yes, how much would actually change? So if we were more aware of the unknown double standards,
Okay, there might be change. There
how
probably would
much?
be change. I don't know if there would be significant change because I think for most people, they are probably pretty happy with the way things are going, which is why those things are unknown, is because they don't really have a need to be known.
Mm.
So if people were aware of it, there might be change, but I don't think it would be significant change.
mm.
If you lie, most women will buy. They even know it's a lie, but as long as it makes them feel good, that's fine. Do you believe this?
Um, in a general population sense, yes.
Mm,
I definitely think that there's more women right now that, are selfish in what they want out of a relationship. So even if they know the guy is not a good guy, or even if they think, oh, he's probably just lying to me, but he's treating me a certain way and I like that. So it's okay. And I think that that's a general um, perspective right now.
Yeah, I think even when they're not being treated a certain way and they still know it's a lie, I think because it's just a body and um somebody giving them attention, they'll still go for it.
And that's part of the toxicity of modern women and modern dating right now.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
think that that part probably needs to change, but it does exist.
Definitely. If we can't name a law today that men have or that women don't, why are feminists even relevant today?
I don't think they are. Not the way they
Mm,
exist today. But I think that the drive for feminism continues because the drive for more power and more um, influence
mm,
never goes away. And so they, you know, it started out as saying, job equality and voting rights, and those were good things
mm-hmm,
in general. And so they got that, and then they had to find another platform, and then they accomplished those things. And now we're seeing like, okay, we have all of the same societal rights, we have all the same job opportunities, we have all the same educational opportunities. Now we need to think what else. And so they're trying to find oppression in order to continue the drive for power and influence.
mm.
So they're phony. They're pseudo, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Last question. We are aware this isn't equal. We're either we're either more of one or the other, even though we're born with both energies. What's the difference between masculine and feminine energy?
So I would say masculine, sorry, excuse me. Masculine energy is definitely like a driving force. It is, the go getter. It's when you show up and you are ready to get the goal done. That masculine energy is confrontational. It is, goal driven. It is, you know, aggressive in nature. And then feminine energy is softer, more willing to be led. It is, feminine energy nurtures, it creates. And so that's really the difference. It's basically like two polar opposites where when they come together, they can create, beautiful uh results. You're right that we're all born with both, because I know some women might be thinking, well, I have a go getter attitude. Of course you do. You have that within you, but it's really, what do you decide is going to be your dominant traits? What are you going to
Mm.
develop? And as a woman, you should really be developing your feminine energy. And as a man, you should be developing your masculine energy and not letting yourself live in that, those feminine spaces of
For
your
too long.
personality.
Mm.
Yeah, for too long.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, definitely. You always have some really good insights to these. Some of them are hard questions Mr. Yield Discipline comes up with.
Definitely. Thank you guys.
Follow her Instagram in my proper place in dot my
My
dot
dot proper
proper
dot.
dot place, and then also her YouTube
The
Disciplined Life
Disciplined Life podcast.
podcast. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, great. Thanks once again for coming on.
Thank you.
Take
Appreciate
care.
you guys.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
She always has really good insights. I like, and then I know there must be some women that hear her and are like, "What?" But she, like you, it says things, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't think about it that way." So I like her points of views. They're good.
Yeah, she also lives a different life, so
Mm-hmm.
based off her
That's why I think
lifestyle, her
it's
point of view is
interesting.
gonna be different.
Exactly.
I mean, everything's gonna trigger us. Like I said, it's how you navigate, how you handle
Mm-hmm.
it. Life I live, there are certain things that are conventional or vanilla that might trigger me. With my growth, I learned to accept everything. Doesn't mean I engage in it.
Mm.
Um, doesn't mean I have it around me, but I learned to accept it, not dismiss it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
Because
smart.
I'm aware that not a lot of people are gonna think like me, live like me. There's fundamental differences with the way I think,
Mm-hmm.
and other people think because of my experiences, where I come from, my lifestyle.
Right. Exactly.
So
All right.
mm,
So, we're going back to the whole
mm-hmm.
thing. All right. do we really care about or desire equality, or do we just want special treatment? So, first question is, what do you think? I think, like I told when the caller was on the phone, I think women want both, and I think that men, because they're already um top of the food chain, kind of, they don't really care about equality. Maybe special treatment, and that's, once in a while. That's what I think, as far as that question.
Okay, I believe that we care more about special treatment than equality.
As a whole,
Um
people in general, you're saying? Or
yeah,
are you differentiating men and
absolutely.
women? Okay.
When we look at intimate, romantic relationships, business, workplace, situations, society, same thing, I believe. I think like this because of what I've observed through my course of my years, experiences, being in managerial positions with I'm a manager in corporate, but there's also women who are managing in corporate, and there's certain things that they didn't want to do, but we get paid the same. We have the
Mm-hmm.
same title. That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it could be different things. I was a manager in different industries and corporations. So it could be, for example, retail. Like some women don't want to do warehouse truck.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to lift the heavy objects. But
That's
how,
me.
why should they have to be excluded from doing that? We get paid the same and we have the same title. It could have been a general manager at the gym. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Boardroom, stuff of that nature. So, I'm not trying to pick on the women,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen that most of these jobs are predicatedly male dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like now that they passed all these laws and have made things equal for the gender, now women can be in these jobs as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't believe that, I don't want to say all women, but most women do not want to have the same criteria or do the same duties pertaining to certain things. You know what I'm saying? We could
Mm-hmm.
even take this out of what have I experienced, what have I observed. For example, they're doing a raid, right? Just picture this. They're doing a raid.
Who?
The author, let the author flow.
Right. The cops, you mean, you're talking
They're
about?
doing a raid. Could be FBI, could be DEA, whatever. And they get the long, what do you call it? It's like a huge hammer.
The battle
Swing.
ram?
There you go. And they might tell the woman FBI agent, "Stay back. It's too dangerous. There's
I'm staying
some
back.
whatever cartel or whatever it is. Stay back. It's too dangerous." You see, that's special treatment because she gets paid the same as you and she has the same title. So why should she stay back? Why can't she be in there? Why can't she hold it?
Mm.
Knock that door through. You see what I'm saying? So there's certain things that we want to put out equality to make it nice so we don't offend people, and we want to be able to be diverse, and we're having an inclusion dynamic and world, and that's what we're transitioning into. But the reality is it's not.
No, I agree. And I agree with that as well. Like,
So that even goes to the third one. We don't even have to go through that
yeah.
because it's the same
I
thing.
believe, though, if people are getting paid the same, then they should be doing the exact same thing. If you don't want to do it, then, turn it down, because that's not fair. That's not equal. It's not equal for people to be getting paid the same and not doing the exact same job. Now, if the woman can do the exact same thing as the man, go ahead, go for it. Do it. Get paid just like him. But then if you can't, pick and choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. That kind of goes against what it's about.
Hmm.
Um
In any relationship, special treatment or equality, for me, uh hmm
I need to have one or the other.
it's hard for any relationship because if it's business, hmm,
If it's business, I
you,
want equality.
to me personally, I would say all relationships probably special treatment.
Really?
It's
I
because
think
because I'm gonna explain. Because if I'm doing business with anybody, there's a condition. Because I just don't feel like I could be equal with anybody I do business with because of how I am
mm,
outside. So I need to have something strict in the clause in the contract where I get creative control.
I got you.
Maybe my decision making is more than yours.
Mm,
And you have to
mm,
be willing to like be cool with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the contract, like there has to be a strict clause that is included.
Mm,
That's the special treatment. It's not equality.
right.
I might see. I'm a control freak, so you know what I'm saying. Like it's gonna like it might bother me if I feel like you know it's like yo I feel like that might be a bad decision. Like I'm great at that area, you know, but because I signed a contract of equal, now I gotta bite my tongue and not say anything and just like you know what I'm saying? Like I might be great in that area, you're not,
Mm,
but you want, and this is just an example, you want to make that equal decision
mm,
in that. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, let's say you and I editing.
mhm. Right. You don't
So
let me edit.
so if you're like, you know what, I think I should edit now, and I'm
I
like,
have
okay,
said this to
and
you.
I'm like, okay, but I'm not gonna teach you, and we got a deadline.
That would never happen, first of
Oh,
all.
I would never. It would never happen. I would teach you, but I'm just saying because it's equal and stuff of that nature. I'm gonna be like, yo, we got a deadline. Just let me do this.
Mm,
Maybe down the line we got some free time. I'll show you, but let me do this. But if we sign a clause where it has to be equal decision making, even new projects and stuff of that nature, if you say this time I want to edit, and I know I'm better at it, and you never did it, and we have a deadline, I have to bite my tongue and say, take the wheel. And I can't teach you because now I'm taking the other responsibilities.
mm,
So those certain things in the clause have to be in there.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because of my control aspect.
Right.
You see, just an example. You know, so I would want special treatment.
Mm.
Like my contract has to be tailored to me. If I'm a basketball player, I'm gonna give you an example. A WWE
I was going to say that
a
too.
WWE superstar. I'm not gonna mention
I was
his
gonna.
name, but he signed a unique contract, smart, where he doesn't have to defend his title as often,
I was going to
and
say
he could
that.
have certain vacations when he want. So he could be part time or whatever. If he wants to go to Hollywood while he's the champ, he could do that. He
Hmm.
signed a unique contract.
How
You
good
know what I'm
for
saying?
him.
Because he wants special treatment. Why? Because he probably feels like, yo, I bring more to the table. When I'm in the head or whatever, we sell a lot of merchandise. We get
Mm-hmm.
sponsors. Places want to do this, endorses and stuff of that nature. I'm bringing you the bucks. My face is making everybody eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I need special treatment
Yeah.
because I'm a high valuable asset here.
So you think along the same way in regards to
Yes.
that. I think I would want equality with work, like at my job or business wise. And equality doesn't mean exactly how you just said it. Like I would want equality at least in brainstorming, in throwing ideas around. In that sense, is as far as business wise. In my personal relationships, I would want special treatment, not equality.
Okay.
What's your stance on gender equality?
Why you want special treatment?
What do you mean? In my
You're
in my
so
personal
yeah.
lives? In my personal life?
Yeah. So
Um,
you're picking and choosing.
yeah.
You're pretty much
I don't
saying
want
equal.
special treatment at my job. I'm there to do
Okay.
a job. I go and I do
Okay.
it. I want
So
equality in my
okay.
job.
So you're both,
I'm both.
and I'm
You're a
special
special
treatment all
treatment,
around.
right?
Okay.
So, what is your stance on gender equality?
I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in gender
Yeah,
equality.
you.
I believe in gender equality when it comes to work and pay, as long as the people who are hired for that job can do that job. Not, all right, we're going to overlook this or we're going to overlook that. No, if
Mm.
you're going to go, if you want a job in construction, then you should, or even the fire department, you need to be able to throw a body over your shoulder and run out of a burning building. Then you better be able to do that if you want to run with them and get paid with them and all of that. That's what I think as far as gender equality.
Okay. So my stance on it, why I don't believe it, is because I'm okay with the double standards. You know what I'm saying? I'm really okay
I'm
with
okay with the double standards too.
women being women, their abilities, their capabilities, and their limitations, and I'm okay with men being men, their abilities, their inabilities or their limitations.
Me too.
You know,
I'm
I'm
just saying
okay
for
with
those women who want that,
it.
then be sure that you can
That ain't never
deliver
gonna
that.
happen. That ain't never
Well,
gonna happen.
in
Even
those
the
kinds, there are other
even the industry,
industries.
even the industry that they're in will not allow it to happen. because they will feel like they're being dicks or assholes by doing that. And they might feel like, oh, maybe we'll get sued or something. Who knows what goes on in their minds, why they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But they will always think we got to protect the woman. Even if she's like, yo, I told you, the feds, DEA is going in there. It's dangerous, girl. Stay in the back. You be on the call. Stay outside. We going in. If we get shot, we get shot. We going in, though. You know what I'm saying? Stay. It's too dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So at some level, like, there's always going to be, like, one-sided chivalry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is. In society, I'm just saying, in those situations, women should just stay out of those type of jobs. That's why I'm okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay with the inequality.
Me
I'm
too.
okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you gonna have to do that, girl. So if you don't, stay out of it.
Exactly. That
you know what I'm saying? Like, be a secretary.
But for those who, are so gung-ho about it, then go for it. But be sure that you can pull your own weight. You can do what you're supposed to do. I agree with you too. There's one of the questions was, what circumstance would make somebody not want to be equal? Going to war. I don't want to be equal. Don't send me to the front lines. I don't want to go to war. I don't want to, stop a killer. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go into the sewers and clean out with the bugs. I don't want to do that. Let a man go and do that. And I think a man wouldn't want equality in like child labor, like giving birth. I don't think any man would want to say, I want to experience that one time. No, the hell you won't.
Or have a monthly cycle.
Exactly. Like, I think those types of, there are circumstances where, I don't want to go to war. Don't put me in that position.
Yeah. So, work and pay.
Where am I? I lost myself. Oh, here we go.
Work and pay. I'm glad we numbered these now.
Thank God.
If I could just be like 6, 7. That was a good idea. So in work, in society, work and pay, no. For me, no. Because it goes down to the firefighters, cops, stuff of that nature. A man driving a crane, a building construction, maybe driving a forklift. I know some women who in the past who drive forklifts, stuff of that nature, lifting heavy objects. You have to have a certain criteria for a certain pay. You know what I'm saying? It could be physical, it could be whatever, intelligence, mental, maybe knowledge of the game. It could be a sports analyst, female sports analyst, male sports analyst. One of them played the game, one of them didn't, or what it is. What it is. Like, let's say it's about men's basketball. And it's like there's female female analysts there, and there are male analysts.
Well, definitely with work and pay, I think it should be equal if they can do it, like I said. But like at my job, I work in a hospital, and sometimes I have to go down all the way down to the basement to get these big heavy boxes, right? Most of the people there that do all the lifting are men. There women that work there, yeah, but they are in charge of where the supplies go. You know what I mean? And when I go, I consider myself, if I wanted to, I can pick up these boxes, but I don't want to. And so I tell them, can you guys put the boxes on the cart? Even pushing the cart is heavy, and I don't want to do that. But so when they say in relationship, I broke a nail once.
I don't think women should be lifting heavy shit.
It's awful, especially when there's nobody there to help me. I'm like, come on.
When we go to the studio, what do? I'll be yelling at you. Like, what are you doing? You trying to help me pick this shit up? Get the light shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get the table. I'm gonna get this stuff. Just stay in the studio. I'll bring everything in.
I can't do that. I'm from,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm from a time where let me go help
I yell at you all the time. I know. And then you get, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a woman. You're not supposed to be doing that. It's just like if a man had a woman and they live together and there needs to be a sofa, we'll get back into it. That needs to be moved. And he having his woman do it. I talked about this at the first workshop.
Yeah.
Like, have your boy come over and do it. Or save it tomorrow when you have a guy or a couple of guys to do it. Why is she going to be doing it? It doesn't make sense. So she could complain later on, oh, baby, my shoulder hurts. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, the man's putting more work on himself by doing that. When he could just simply, like, carry in the heavy groceries.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? If she goes to shop, right, and she comes home I'm telling her, sit your ass on the couch. I'm going outside, bringing everything in.
Now, why
You know what
is
I'm
it that
saying?
they
Because
can't
I'm a
help each
chauvinist. I'm a
other?
male
Oh, so
chauvinist.
this is just you, but
Machismo. So it's like that might be negative to some people and it might be triggering, but I feel like there's some healthy machismo. There's some healthy
I
chauvinism.
agree with that.
So like that's chauvinism to me. Like I don't believe the tire blows out. She's out there
No,
changing
no.
it while he's watching TV like a housewife. Like I don't believe that. Like you know what I'm saying? And that
Yeah.
might be the chivalry too, but it's just because I believe what a man is supposed to do and what a woman is supposed to do. I believe in gender roles. But if people don't believe in gender roles, they're gonna get triggered with this. They're gonna be
Yeah.
like, yo, he's like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe they'll call me a misogynist.
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
hate women.
definitely. Yeah.
I discriminate towards women.
Yeah,
That's
but
that
everything that you
definition.
just said is not like you going out to help, the woman bring the
Yeah, you
groceries
might
in. That's
see it
not.
that way, you know, because you're Latina.
Mm,
So in our culture, it's different.
yeah.
But somebody who might be more American or who isn't, or maybe on other side of the world, well,
No,
let's
because they're
just talk about the
yeah.
West, the Western, like America.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at what I'm saying as crazy,
Yeah, that's true.
you know. So in relationship, when they say the man's supposed to lead, mean to you?
Well, I think I agree with what the caller said, and I also think that when a woman chooses who she wants to, to be in a relationship with, and also depending on, what this relationship, if it's just, boyfriend and girlfriend, I feel like there's different rules to that. But if you're like really, this is going to be your partner or your mate, and it's the woman that's choosing it first, she has to be, make sure that she vetted him correctly, where she knows, all right, if this is the man that I want to be with, then I'm going to have to put my trust that he's going to make all, not all, but make decisions, obviously with her input, for the better of where he's trying to take them. That's what I think.
Her input, what does that mean?
Like, if it's a marriage, right? Then I feel like even if he's not going to use what she's saying, at least get her input to get another perspective. You know what I mean? Like
Why?
you could never have, too many options,
But
and
why?
which one?
Why?
Why do I feel like it?
Mm,
Because that's they're a couple. They're
okay.
in a
Like a team? They're a team?
like a team, except
Okay.
like how the caller said. I also believe that in any relationship there has to be, like the captain, and then the person that's underneath the captain.
Okay.
What, or a general and a soldier, whatever.
Okay.
I do believe that, but also, that doesn't mean that the captain can't get, like if somebody comes and says, "What about this?" and it's a better idea, okay, then the captain will do the right thing.
I'm
That
not
is
doing
what a woman should.
okay. That's why I wanted to ask you. Me, I'm not doing that with just anybody just because she's my girl and we're in a relationship. We're supposed to be a team. If she
No, if
displays
it's just a boyfriend and
hold
girlfriend,
on.
then no.
If she displays that, and I'm gonna try to tell people this, but this is just my perspective, so they could dismiss it if they want. To me, I'm gonna say she has to prove to me that she could give me great ideas. She has to
Okay.
prove that, because if she has a history of making them, that might not be the catalyst to making me saying I want to release her or dismiss her, because she does other great qualities and bring other valuable things to the table. But let's say she's just a bad decision maker.
Okay.
So to me, it's like I'm a good decision maker. I'm gonna make the best decision for the both of us. I'm not gonna come to you and be like, "What do you think?" Because you don't have a history of making. Like I can't trust you in that aspect. But if you find that woman, he might be a little bit more solution oriented, a decision maker,
Right.
right? Then you might say, "Oh, what do you think?" She might give you a great idea, and you're making the final decision for the both of them. So I kind of
That's what
feel
I
like it's
agree.
reading your partner, because I
100%.
don't feel like every time, like if we're talking about the man being more in control and the woman being the subordinate, I don't always feel like women are gonna make the best decisions,
Right.
especially if they're not going to exclude their emotions, because most of the decision will be emotion driven.
Right. But I also think, and that's why I said if it's in like a more long-term relationship, like a marriage, then yeah. But if it's you're starting out as a boyfriend girlfriend, and I'm talking about a younger couple, younger men don't always tend to have the right, I feel like like with anybody, it's something that you gain with experience and knowledge on how to
Mm.
how to um lead somebody, because not all men, especially younger men, know how to lead.
So the summary is vetting your partner. That's the
Exactly.
summary.
Bingo.
Too many people are just already just having sex on the first date and stuff
Exactly.
like that. We're in a relationship before they get to know people and stuff like that. I was with a woman in the past, and I was telling her, like, we were talking about the future, and I was telling her how I want things if we were to move in together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't come over here switching shit around without my permission. That's gonna
If she came and moved in with you,
yeah.
like your place, and she came into your
Yeah,
house. Gotcha.
and she was like, "Oh wow, I'm glad we're talking about this because my ex, we just moved in, and then I started to learn this shit about. I used to get yelled at for things I was, you understand? So it's a good thing to just communicate and get this stuff, put
Big
it on the
time.
table
Yep.
in the beginning, and learn these things and how you're gonna know so you're prepared. I'm a planner, you know what I'm saying, and I like to know things from advance, and vice versa. I like to make sure they know in advance what
Right.
they're in for.
Mhm.
So that's the vetting, just to summarize. Now, in relationships, what they say when they say men are supposed to lead, what I believe it means protecting, providing, making the decisions, taking initiative, being proactive, proactively engaging, being that person that's going to provide security in all aspects, you know, and just being the boss. That's what I believe. So being dominant, taking charge, being the more controlled, authoritative figure as well, and also being able
More
to
stoic too, I think.
also being able to administer certain things, perhaps punishment or accountability.
Mm.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Like, I think too many men kind of just let things slide, and could be for
Definitely.
numerous reasons.
Yes. And I
Sex
also I think
or
that happens, and that should be a whole different. I know we
keeping
have
her around,
topics on this coming up.
avoiding an argument. Like, so many reasons why they
Yeah.
just are passive.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Yeah, we could definitely have another topic pertaining to just that. If a woman makes as much money as the man in the relationship, should she be an equal in that relationship?
If she makes as much money as a man. No,
No.
because making the money doesn't have anything to do with, like you had said before, somebody could be an awful somebody that makes like decisions. Like I am so bad with money. And well, I used to be. I'm a lot better now. Just because, and if I was making more money doesn't mean that I should be an equal into that.
If a woman is adamant about this, I will test her.
By how?
I will start to say, okay, we're equal. So the moment, and I'm gonna watch the things that she does and she needs me for, and I'm gonna watch her struggle. I'm gonna be sitting there watching WWE or football, wrestling, basketball, and she'd be like, "Oh, Poppy or Daddy, I need this jar open."
I
And
was
I'm
just
gonna
about to
say,
say that, like a
"Yo,
jar,
we're in
like
an
opening
equal
up
relationship. Get
That's
your
so
man,
awful.
get your man on." God
That's
forbid, God forbid you
hysterical.
hear a noise downstairs. Baby, you heard that noise? Let's go check it out. Go check it out. We in a 50-50 equal relationship.
I don't think you would do that in that
We're in a
situation.
50-50 equal relationship.
You're gonna
Go
be
check
like,
it out.
I'm not gonna die because of this dumbass woman. Let me go
Okay.
check it out.
Okay, that was a bad
Yeah,
example.
that was
But
bad.
let's say a tire. Maybe that's
No,
a bad
that's a
example.
bad one too. The groceries.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I'll let her.
You carry that heavy ass grocery.
I'll let her hurt a little bit. Yeah, you carry that in while I do it.
Exactly.
Oh, here's another one. We go to the restaurant and
Oh, she could
aren't
pay
you
the
gonna
bill?
open the door?
Uh,
Hey, we in a 50-50 equal relationship. I'll walk in and shut the door and go in.
Or I know you've said that you also you pump their gas, right? Lady's
Yeah.
gas. She's probably used to that, and imagine
Or
you not pumping the gas now for her.
I had one who didn't know if she needed washer fluid. So I checked out. I said, "Yeah, you're low." So I bought washer fluid,
Oh,
and
for
she
the
was like,
windshield
"Oh, let me
wipers?
do it." I said, "Sit your ass in the car. I'm gonna take care of it." Because a lot of women don't know about cars. So
I know where
like
the gas goes.
I was taking care of that. Those are things I wouldn't let her do.
Mm.
Maybe teach her, like watch me so you could learn. But I don't ever want you to do this. But the things like the door, I would. The things like the jar, yo, get your man on.
The groceries.
Get your man stuff on. Hey, they got things in Amazon. You know what I'm
They
saying?
sure
Go
do. I
buy
have them.
it.
I
Go
have one
buy
of
it.
those.
Get your man on.
I'll lend mine to
You know
them.
what I'm saying? So I might do those things to test her to see, because eventually she's gonna be like, you know what? I'm tired of this equalage, and I get my way anyways. You know what I'm saying? So
Diabolical.
I'm gonna use some psychology with her to see if she's really about what she
You're
wants.
an unfair person. He has psychology under his belt, diabolical thinking. This one over here.
So I don't believe the money, because if we take the money away, we're back in the caveman era, where men and women were prestigious and our roles were very
Defined.
prestigious and defined, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Why would a man desire a submissive woman and complain she's too submissive?
I think it's because the men don't know at that point. They just don't know themselves, and it makes them uncomfortable because what we said with the caller. Like maybe they like a little bit of pushback, and if this woman is too submissive or is too agreeable with whatever he says, he's gonna feel like weird about it.
Why would a man? Yeah, I concur. Now, to expound, I believe that the man that desires a woman to be submissive and complains, he has to have a balance of a little toxicity and a little good. Now, a man who's used to this type of woman would never do that.
Would never complain.
Would never do that, complain, and would never think like that, or wouldn't even confront her about it. You know what? In the bedroom, I want you to take more initiative. That would turn me on. You know what? When we're going out to eat,
Initiative.
I would like for you to pick where we're going. It would show me that you care. It would show me, you understand what I'm saying? Take on some of the pressure.
Interesting.
Take on some of the responsibility. You know what? You bring me my plate too perfect. I come home, dinner's on the table. I mean, one of these days, why can't you throw something at me? Why can't you yell? This is too
Interesting.
good. It's unhealed, like you said. It's unhealed. I think we should all strive for that. That sounds like peace to me. You know what I'm saying? And peace will never get old. My perspective.
No, never.
Peace will never get old, but some people can't handle peace too long. You know what I'm saying? We could even flip it and put this in a woman's perspective. 2 months in, no arguments. This guy is too good to be true. I'm gonna start an argument. Why the fuck is the ground on the ground? Why did the tiles look that way? You ain't putting enough effort in. Complaining, nagging. Because she might need some type of chaos because her psyche is used to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because it's not, she's thinking it's fake. The relationship is fake. He's lying. When is the ball gonna drop? Already putting that into the universe.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. It's just like you said, not knowing yourself, unhealed trauma, trauma responding,
trauma bonding with that.
Yeah, we got that next season. Do you know that this is a statement? Women in positions of power tend to be more submissive or desire to be more submissive. Do you believe this, and why would you say it's true?
Yes, I do believe it. And just like with the caller, I feel that women who are in positions of power, whether in their family life, like at a home with like their parents, their siblings, or at their job or whatever, if people are constantly going to them for whatever it is, we need to do shopping, you need to do this, can you fix that, give me advice, this and that, it gets, draining. It drains you. And I feel like when a woman that has to be, on all the time, she gets drained quick. And that's why she wants to go to someone who is going to take that away from her. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like that here. I'll take care of you. I'll be the one that, I like to cook. I don't like to think about what to cook. So somebody telling me, make this for dinner tonight. Thank you. All right. I don't got to think about it. I just got to do it now. You know what I mean?
This was a statement in the last workshop, the master class. So When I asked the audience, they pretty much said the same thing. Women aren't used to being in positions of power. I don't believe they make great leaders. Might be like 1 or 2%. A majority of women don't make great leaders. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of decisions. It's constantly worrying if your decision was okay, especially if you're leading a group of people. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You know, am I double back? Am I overthinking
Mm-hmm.
on my steps? You know, am I now questioning my decisions? Too much of that goes in women's heads. It's too much pressure. So when they're able to let go and release, it's just bringing them back into their natural state. I feel like that's what the caller was trying to say, but
Mm-hmm.
just to summarize it, it's bringing them back into their natural state, because when we look at submissive, that's feminine energy. Dominant is masculine energy. Alpha is associated with male. When you get like alpha female, she's pretty much like a masculine woman, like
Mm.
a manly woman. You know what I'm saying? So she might have to be like that in her day to day, which is perfectly fine, because you got to put on a mask to make money, to do this, whatever you need to do, you know, to survive in the world. But once you get into your sanctuary partner where you could be vulnerable, that's when you show your true self.
Mm-hmm.
So even if a man, if he's like a governor of a state where he has to be dominant and make decisions, and it's too much pressure for him because that's not who he is, then he comes home and he's submissive in any way to his
Mm-hmm.
woman, then that's who he really is. That's
Right.
what he wants to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
When it's in the
I'm
comfort of his
not,
own home. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not shaming them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just putting labels on what it is, the
Right.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're more in your feminine energy, and that might work for certain people because maybe she's more in her masculine at home and with him.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, ultimately it comes down to the natural state of the woman. And when the woman is in her natural state, she's can thrive the most. She's the most comfortable. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it comes down to. Like, you don't know how many women I've talked to, coached, trained, personal trained. They'll, I hate working. Oh, I gotta do overtime. Do this. I gotta make this. I gotta get this deadline. I'm stressed out. I mean, they're not used to it.
No.
They could be dominant CEO, manager, governor, whatever it is, vice president of it. They're not used to it. That's why.
Mm.
By being submissive, if a man can lead, it will put a woman's mind at ease.
I agree
You know,
with
that's
that.
what it comes down to. A lot of the stress comes from women mentally.
Definitely.
Why would good?
Why would a woman desire a dominant man when it favors her and then complain, shame, or try to change him for the same thing that attracted her to him? I think it's just nature, her nature. And also it's almost like, to me, like kind of like the question up on top, like um lie on the application, kind of, or to get your foot in the door. Like, it's something that is attracted. It attracts her to him, but she doesn't necessarily like for him to use it on her. Does that make sense? So I guess in circumstance, she would want that not equality, but the special treatment in whatever
Yes,
she's doing,
yes.
whatever
And
it is.
usually this is triggered when women are emotional, they're angry,
Mm-hmm.
they're resenting you, you know, and the shame and trying to change them is, like the caller said, the trauma they went through.
Mm-hmm.
It's bringing
Fighting against that.
him back down to your level,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. Because this is also like emasculation,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you think about it. So when they do that, it's trying to have your cake and eat it too.
Yes.
It's thinking that you could get the Ferrari, but you don't have to pay that price when you go to do the oil change.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's thinking that I could probably test drive it and not have to put anything down or buy it, and I could just keep going to Ferraris and test driving them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the salesman's gonna want to make a deal. That's a high end brand.
Mm-hmm.
She's not just letting anybody test drive it. You might have to put a safety deposit down to test drive it.
Interesting.
You see what I'm saying? So like it's like that. It's like you want, and this goes back to the title. You want the special treatment when it favors you, when it doesn't. If you
Exactly.
want the dominant man, if you want the submissive woman, you got to take everything that's coming with them that you feel is good and bad. You have to have maybe some bad to
Balance.
balance it out. Also, the dominant man, there's a big misconception. There's preconceived notions. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? Like, so, that might be good in a way. Like we first met, let's say we first met and I'm like, I want us to go here and I'm picking you up. I don't care. And it's like the first date and she's like, oh, I like that. And then she's like, we got an argument a month, 2 months later. Oh, why are you always so dominant? You just want control. You don't want love.
All right. Why you always pick where we go?
Yeah, and the whole control aspect is what gravitated towards him because you heard what I just said. Oh, I like that. It turns me on. So it's like it comes down to like when it's not favoring her, that's when she wants to turn it up. And it's always during the anger moments. And when women get angry, most of them get emotional. They say things they don't believe. They say things they might want to take back, don't want to take back due to pride and ego. So it comes down to a lot of that. It's a desirable thing. I think a dominant man triggers arousal in the female psyche and brings her back to her natural state. So that's one of the reasons why she's going to gravitate towards him. The energy, the soul is pushing you towards him. But then due to maybe societal expectations, norms, feminist friends in your group, family, stuff of that nature, just feeding your mind, then you might start to say, maybe I didn't make the right decision.
Right. Or now they start questioning there's certain things. Yeah. Okay, so this is the one I was talking about. What other circumstances would make women or men not desire to be equal? Or want special treatment, yes, but not desire to be equal? War, doing the types of jobs that there are bugs and, spiders and cockroaches and caterpillars, all that shit. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do any of those things. I don't want to lift anything heavy. I don't want to do any of that. I will go and clean ass. I will do that all day long. I will feed you. I will do that, but don't expect me to do anything. Stand in the front lines. I'm not standing in any front lines. I'm standing behind you guys.
And that would make sense.
Exactly. And like a man,
that's like a nurturing.
Exactly.
state.
A man, I wouldn't want to just go and let me try to give birth one time. No, they don't want to go through labor pains. They don't want to, have any of that. What was the other thing you said that men wouldn't want to do either?
Menstrual cycle.
Menstrual cycle. No way. I would want to have special treatment if I had a job that required me to go, you have to go and stick your hand in there and there might be, some sort of bug. No, I want special treatment then. Let one of the guys do it because I'm not doing it.
I think one thing we didn't mention is like sexual intimacy, bedroom.
What do you mean, special treatment or equality? What are you talking about?
Equality. What other circumstance would make women and men not desire to be equal?
That's true.
So equal, hey, a woman might say, listen, I don't want special treatment here. Talk to me dirty, call me a dirty slut, you slut, spit in my mouth, choke me, give me erotic asphyxiation. Don't be a gentleman. I don't want no special treatment.
What if that is the special treatment because she's not used to that?
Okay, you might be speaking technical. Or I might be speaking technical.
Right.
Special treatment, to be treated special, to be treated nice, to be treated good. I might be looking at that, and you might be looking at it, make it
something
subjective.
Different. Right, okay, yeah.
Make it only for me.
Oh, yeah.
Or we do this. You don't do this with other women. Or you don't do this with other
men or whatever. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe in that sense, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it in a sense of like be treated nicely.
That makes sense too.
So equal, I don't think a lot of women want to be equal in that aspect. But there might be those 2% who live a BDSM life. Madams, mistresses who don't mind dominating men.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? In every capacity. But I believe that that is a circumstance that men and women may not desire to be equal or want special treatment.
I agree. I didn't think of the sex part, but I agree. Um, if we eliminate sex, manipulating, and projections from relationship, would we as a whole begin to build a more loving relationships? Um, I agree with what the caller said as far as, the manipulating should be, tossed out the window. Like, we should stop trying to teach the kids and the girl, how to manipulate. I know I did that. That has to be thrown out. Projection as well, because that's you're just pushing on what you think onto your partners or whoever you're dealing with. The eliminating sex, I agree with her that it strengthens a bond. I feel like it should be, between, it's a special thing, so you shouldn't just go around having sex with whoever. But I do believe eliminating manipulating and projection, you would build a more loving relationship.
Um, I believe so. I believe so.
But even with
Be,
eliminating sex.
I believe so.
Hmm.
If we eliminate these things, because sometimes these things are what people bring to the table. When we talk about like, what do you bring to the table? Everybody talks about good things. I
Mm-hmm.
never heard a person say, "Well, I bring some crazy to the table." They might keep that in the
Secret.
closet.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "I don't want them to know I'm crazy, or I don't want her to know I'm crazy yet."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, at some level, like a man or a woman might bring projections, might bring manipulation to the table. So look at it this way: to build intimate relationship, perhaps a strong bond, depending on the dynamic, you need to have sex. You need to have some type of affection, physical, even like um physical presence, being in each other's physical presence.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Interaction. Doesn't have to be any touching involved, right? And that could also be business. We exclude that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that could also be business. Now, when we look at these things, some of these things are what keeps us in a relationship.
Sex,
There's no
definitely.
love, there's no connection, but there's manipulation.
Mm. When
Get me
there's sex,
that
then.
ring. We've been together for blah 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 years. Get me that ring or I'm leaving.
Mm.
Whatever ultimatums, projections. Oh, you don't love me. Why? Because you don't do this. Because you don't feel like this. You don't think like this.
Mm.
Projection.
Yep.
Now, projection insecurities. If we take all these things out, we're going to build more of a loving relationship because we're going to focus more on connection. You know
With
what I'm saying? We're going to
words.
actually learn each other's love language
Mm-hmm.
and be able to cater to it or not. And if it doesn't work, we just go our separate ways, be able to cater to it, um, both each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that we could definitely build a more loving relationship by eliminating these things. Maybe even temporarily. Like I would say, eliminate manipulating completely
Yeah.
and projection.
Yeah.
Um,
The sex, yeah, I agree with you.
you know what I'm
Hold
saying?
off on it, or not as much, maybe.
That's why back in the day they used to go to a certain amount of dates.
Mm-hmm. And some people also have, like, you go on a date with the whole family behind you, so that you can get to know each other, have that conversations, and you know
Mm.
what I mean? All right. If we were more aware of the unknown double standards in society, do you think more would change for the better in society? If yes, how much would they actually change? So I, again, agree with the caller. Um, in terms of, there might be some change, but I don't think that there will be a lot of change, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they are complacent, like they're happy with where they are. And like she said, if it's an unknown double standards, that means that it how, I forgot how exactly how she said it, like it went under the radar. That means it can't be that, big of a deal, kind of, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And if it does come out, I think how she said, if they're pretty happy with where they are, they're gonna be like, all right. It doesn't affect, if I didn't know about it before and it didn't affect me, it's not going to affect me now anyway. That's what I think.
I think more would change for the better
Yeah.
today.
Interesting.
How much more?
It would change for the better for both?
Yes.
All right.
Because when you read this again, if we were more aware of the unknown double standards in society, this could come down to you understanding your nature, the opposing person's nature or the opposite sex, and then accepting it. You
Or
understand what I'm
not.
saying?
Yeah.
So if we were more aware of it, like there's certain people you talk about certain things and they're like, yo, I didn't see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if we talk about body count, like some people think that it's equal with genders.
Like if he could do it, I could do it.
Yes.
Mm.
So if we kind of just be like, listen, certain men have limitations or double standards that work in their favor. Certain women have limitations or double standards that work in their favor. And they're able to accept that, then we would definitely lead more of a better society.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There would be less what's going on, equality and stuff of that nature.
Right. But I think that so if we're talking about most people, again, I'm going to state you are not like the average type of person. You have a lot of control emotionally and, of yourself. A lot of men, if they were aware of these unknown double standards, I don't know, and women, I don't a lot of people don't have emotional intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that would, like you would be
You're
like, all
right.
right,
You're right.
you know what I mean?
You're right.
Can you
You're
please
right.
explain it? Because I
You're
don't
right.
think I explained it
Okay,
right.
so for example, unknown double standards. It could be in the workplace. You know, sexual harassment is not the same for men and women.
Mm.
If let's say hypothetically I was in the managerial position and I call my district manager, hey, one of my other managers here, she kind of, I was bent over, she kind of
Slapped your
bumped
ass.
into me, slapped my ass. He starts making a joke about it. Oh, fuck her.
Nah.
It'd be our secret. Fuck her already. Be a man.
Oh my lord.
But if the woman was to say something like and lie,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I'm going in without they even getting my side first.
Mm.
I'm going in. This is an unaware double standard. So if people were aware of it like I was, you're right. It might drive them crazy.
Mm.
It might start a war.
Right, because they don't have emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right about that. I didn't look at it on that perspective.
Okay.
That's not fair. How could it be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. If you lie, most women will buy. They even know it's a lie, but as long as it makes them feel good, they're fine. And I agree with that, sadly. Even if it's like even when they know that person is not good for them, depending, and again, this goes back to trauma, self-worth, all that stuff. And I feel like I'm drawing from experience, not on myself, but younger females that I know, because they don't have that self-esteem or whatever. They will still, knowing that these guys are no good, will continue to, talk with them and deal with them because they have low self-esteem and these guys are giving them attention.
I can agree with that, looking at that from that perspective.
Yeah.
I also look at it more in depth.
Mm.
As a society, as a culture, as a world, when it comes to the marketplace, whatever that marketplace is, it's predicated around women. They're like the cash cow. We got an episode like that coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a way, the customer's always right. They're making me the most money.
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell them what they want to hear, make them feel nice, cater, even if I don't believe it, and lie. Give them a sweet lie. People that are warm and fuzzy to words are emotional.
Yeah.
Women are more emotional than men. It's easy. It's manipulation. Even if I don't believe it, I can say it. Social media influencers. There's a
Mm.
couple of people out there finessing women for a long time. Finally
Yeah.
got caught. Cheated, probably.
And even
You know
though,
what I'm
and
saying?
even then, still coming back around.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you tell them whatever they want to hear. Lies. You know you don't believe it. You know you're not like that behind closed doors. You know you don't believe that behind closed doors. You a narcissist. You probably a male chauvinist like me, but you will never say that publicly.
Mm.
Why? Because predominantly your primary consumers are with females. I'm not even gonna say women, because that's divine. Queens, females. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were just born that way. That's it.
Mm.
You don't have common sense.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you might even believe it's a lie. This guy hey, she's a stranger going on a first date, send her a cash app for her what? That sounds nice. That's a good guy. That's a great guy. Send her a cash app for her nails, and you don't even know this woman. She's a stranger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Boom.
Like, even women who believe that, it doesn't connect. Why are you sending me money? We don't even know
Oh,
each other.
this is how you gonna find out he cheating, girl. He don't really love you. Meanwhile, he doing the same thing behind closed doors. They eventually gonna get caught. Because when you live in that fake life, eventually you get exposed. It's spiritual consequences.
Yeah.
God and the ancestors don't let that play around for too long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might be when you get to your pinnacle and they're like, all right, it's time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So at some level, like, you know, when you lie, most women will buy. I put most because I don't include all.
That's true. Not all women
But
will fall for it.
most, majority, we could say 95. Then you got those special 5% who have a good bullshit detector. You know what I'm saying?
not
But
that
the
one.
rest believe it's a lie. But it's like, that makes me feel good. Operative word, feel.
Mm-hmm.
You understand
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
So as long as it makes me feel good, fuck the facts. Fuck the facts. It makes me feel good. So if any guy is manipulating, any woman is manipulating out there, and they're doing this with a relationship coach, whatever you're doing, right? Selling a product that's predominantly towards women, you can always manipulate that way because most women will fall for it. And then that is your money maker. Get rich.
Yep. That's true. And it's just like you said, if they're feeling bad and they know, like, they're in a funk or whatever, and this guy is talking nice and sweet to them, they'll know, even though they'll know, but you know what? I need it today because I feel like shit, and this is gonna give me pain. How many times have we talked about women specifically go online on Instagram or whatever because they're feeling low about themselves? Let me take a picture. It's the exact same thing.
That makes sense.
If
we can't name a law today that men have that women don't, why are feminists even still relevant? So I believe that feminists exist, modern feminists. Remember, those feminists back then, they're married now. They're probably on their knees right now to their husband, serving them his plate. Because they got what they wanted. Modern feminists are pseudo.
Right.
They're phony. They're modern feminists, the third wave, the victim to the patriarchy. Victim about everything. Blame the man when the relationship doesn't work. Closet feminists even. I put them in the same category. Some women are feminists there, don't even know it. Equality, if he can't do it, I could do it. Feminists.
Right.
If he could do it, I could do it. Sorry. Feminists.
Right.
Equal. Victim to the patriarchy. Female on the path to female superiority. Women are always right. We're better. We're smarter. We're this. We're better. We got more options. Feminism.
Right.
All of that is feminism.
Right.
You put in all category of feminism. A lot of people don't talk about this and they don't know. But you're either traditional, submissive, or you're modern and feminist. Conservative or liberal. I could post my body online. Men need to keep that in their pants because I can. Feminism. You know what I'm saying? You're already dictating men's nature. Like they should. Because they're a woman too. They're a woman too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Feminism. Some people don't even realize it. It starts in the mind. It starts with the emotions. Feminism. So they exist. It's just pseudo. It's fake because the context changed.
Yeah.
The goal changed.
Right. Everything that they were fighting for, that which was good, like how the caller stated,
Yeah.
voting and all that, that's already come and gone. We already got it. Now they
Na-
just keep looking for more things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of that stems from trauma too.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman tells me that she's a feminist, I'm already analyzing she's emotionally damaged,
Have you ever
psychologically damaged.
been dealing with a woman and then like she will get triggered, like she starts off submissive and then something will trigger her and she'll say something feminist and you have to bring it to her attention, like she
Yeah.
really didn't know?
Mm-hmm. All the
Interesting.
time. That happens all the time.
Mm.
Whether I coach women, personal train women, fitness.
So in every, not
might
just your
be
personal, not
personal.
like right.
Yeah.
In
mhm.
every, you see that? How interesting.
I actually asked them, do you know that you're doing this? Did you know that that's narcissism? Did you know that that's guilt tripping? Did you know that that's manipulation? Like, do you know that? Like, I genuinely ask them. I'm not like playing. Like, you know how some people ask questions and like how they're kind of. No, I'll ask them because I don't like I said, there's fundamental differences with the way I think.
Mm.
I have, like you said earlier, a lot of things under my belt, what makes me identify things quick.
Mhm.
A lot of men are not. I don't want to speak like I'm arrogant, but a lot of men aren't in this level.
Mm.
Like they could identify quick because I have the Scorpio, we have psychic abilities and stuff like that, which makes it one of the most powerful signs. And I studied and have a degree in psychology.
Mm.
I remembered a lot of the shit that I learned in college.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So then observation, research,
Mm-hmm.
divine assistance from the gods and ancestors. They give me powers and thoughts.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to identify things quick. You know what I'm saying? If a woman says, this, whatever, you made me feel this way, this past weekend I was crying mostly because of you. Did you know that's manipulation?
Mm.
How can I make you feel anyway? You're a grown woman. You ain't in a cage. If I triggered you, how are you handling that? That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not always going to be nice like I'm a man, you're a woman.
And we're human too.
That's the thing. We think differently. We love differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You're going to trigger me. I'm going to trigger you. So do you know that you're doing it? Do you know that's also narcissism?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And most of them are speechless. Oh, I didn't look at it that way. Then I explain it.
Mm.
So in a way, it's like sometimes we're just used to this without looking internally or having a coach or a mentor or somebody, a boyfriend or a dominant husband to tell us this about ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And it's also how you're being told. Like if you're asking them like that instead of being, attacked on, it's a big difference too.
And that's why psychology will help in everything that you do. Business,
Yeah.
friends, family, relationships, because it's just about people. It's just about the mind. It's human behavior. All of that stuff is linked into it.
I think I got to take a psychology course now.
Childhood trauma, stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Business, people, all this stuff is like linked in with psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see.
17?
Oh, yeah, 17. And then that's it.
Okay. We are aware this isn't equal. You're either more of one or the other, even though we're born with both energies. What's the difference between masculine and feminine energy? Masculine energy is, protects, is the breadwinner, the ones who set, they set the law, they, like she said, you're a go-getter, you go and you do something that you have to do, like you're a go-getter, you go and you conquer things, kind of thing. Feminine, we attract, we create balance, we are nurturing, calm, and I think that, like how you said, we are born with both, and how the caller said, we have to choose which one we want to work on, not work on, she said a specific word, like you want to feed, you want to help it grow, which one you're gonna choose. And she said, and I agree, women should nurture that feminine energy more. You, of course, you want to have your, your masculine energies. Everybody has it. But you want to feed the one that you identify with more. That's what I think.
We're born with both. Men's core energy is masculine, women's core energy is feminine. The difference is the masculine is, and this is not even relationship, this is general. In a relationship, I could tell you what they each bring to the table, but this is just in general. The masculine is contentious. He or she, the energy, yes, contentious, might like to debate, ambitious, highly opinionated, charismatic, stubborn, direct, assertive, confident, and leads, protects, dominates, decides, right? Just to give some. And then the feminine is more submissive, passive, dependent upon something. It's not independent. It could be spirituality, as the feminine energy controls spirituality. It could be
healing energy.
Yeah, but I think both are healing energy if they're in their divinity.
Yeah.
Nurturing, emotional, agreeable, won't go against the grain. Cares about what a lot of people think. Kind of like want to build inclusive relationships, want everybody to be happy. I don't want to put out something that's gonna make a lot of people mad. That's feminine energy. Second guessing or just complacent. For example, feminine energy could be going to the bar, waiting to be talked to because you're afraid of rejection. But the masculine's gonna be the go-getter, the hunter. I'm not putting a man or woman on it because we're born with both. The woman could be highly masculine, hyper masculine, a masculine woman. What they would say alpha, which is associated with masculine man. And then you have a man who might be more hyper feminine, a little bit more submissive. You know what I'm saying? He might turn the masculine up when he's in the gym, when he dances, or maybe when he's at work solving a problem. But throughout the course of his life, in society, in a relationship, friends, family, he's very feminine. Has a wife, happy life, feminine.
I was gonna say that.
Let's see, final thoughts. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was gonna read the thing again.
So I was gonna now I want to change things up.
What?
These topics are a problem. Towards their final thoughts, what are the solutions? I want to start doing that
Oh,
now.
how interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a problem, I believe. Do you believe this is a problem?
If we care about equality or special treatment?
Yeah.
Is it a problem?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I believe this is a problem.
Well, why is it a
problem? We cannot have both. I believe this is a problem. So it's mostly directed more towards the equality. That's the problem for me. Inequality beats equality, and I think that's why opposites attract. Polarity. This is the problem. What would be the solution for this, which I don't believe will happen because everything is predicated off capital.
Right.
Live in a capitalistic world. So I don't think it will happen. But I think the solution would be more so special treatment, that we should focus more on that than equality.
I like it.
We will never get equality.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, shit. A white person might be born with a high credit score. He might be born with a trust fund and this and that. Me, I might be in a low income environment, but I know how to dance. I'm confident. I know how to talk to women effortlessly. I don't need to push out money to do it. I'm good with that. I'll work my way up there. I have better social skills than you. You coming to me about it. I used to train millionaires. And I'm like, you got millions of dollars, bro. You need help with this text from this female? I'm doing that. I wasn't born with millions. He was. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's not fair or whatever it is. Black men will never be treated the same as white or Asian. Or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So how do you fix it though?
I think that you're never going to fix equality because we will never be equal. I feel like we got to focus more on the special treatment.
And how do you do that?
Identifying ourselves or how we are and being able to accept that I may be able to dance better than you. I'm not saying this is true. These are stereotypes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like size. You know what I'm saying? Stereotypes.
Jeez.
You know, it's not always true. It could be a myth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving examples to make people understand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to, throw darts at people
Right.
shit like that. No hate shit. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
he's not coming for anybody. People.
Any anger.
He's just speaking.
Yeah. So the reality is like, I'm fine being able to dance and you can't.
So
I'm fine being able to get women easy and you can't. They walk up to me sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? I'm fine with and those are just examples. Let's get more extreme.
Are you saying the person themselves should be okay with?
Yes, because there's nothing you could do to change it.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna get treated. I'm not gonna get treated equal as the white man or the Asian, and we work in the same corporate environment. We in a management team. I'm not the boss. We're both senior managers, maybe vice president. There's a CEO, but we're not gonna all be treated equal. You'll be taken at face value. I won't. I have to do more work than you. I gotta transform and then transform again to meet people's expectations. I don't have to be one thing because my accomplishments may not be one thing. So now I gotta be many different things.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? To get to that level. You probably don't. I have to change my vernacular.
Yeah.
The way I speak, the way I enunciate, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm with my friends that look like me, I speak how I speak.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, there's different things just to make, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because I know I can't change it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm okay with that. I think more people need to know themselves, find God. You realize God is in you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be okay with this.
Yep.
Because there's certain things with me as a Black Latino that's going to favor me, that's not going to favor a man who's opposite.
Exactly.
Or a woman. Let's now talk about men and women.
Exactly. And I
agree with you. You know what I'm saying? So there's things with her that is going to benefit her and it's not going to benefit me. What am I going to cry over spilt milk?
Exactly.
I have to accept it. This is the solution to the problem.
I think the solution to the problem is, I think you nailed it on the head when you said you have to know yourself, work on yourself, because then you won't care about equality or special treatment. Like, you have to fix yourself, work through those traumas, work through all that thing that's been hindering you. You got to work through all that, and then you won't be a slave to, I want to be equal, or I want to have special treatment. You'll be good. Live in the moment. That's what you have to do. Live in the moment, focus on yourself, and everything will fall into place.
Those are your final thoughts?
Yep.
The thing is, eventually, karma's gonna hit. Be careful what you ask for. You heard that saying? So the reality is, if you want special treatment, be ready for what comes with that. Women going into male-dominating jobs, harassment, being this, they're not respecting you. You being treated unfairly, given unequal duties. Expect that. Even with ethnicities and races, expect certain things. When a cop pulls me over, I gotta be able to watch my tongue.
Yep.
I gotta be able to have both hands on the wheel. But the white boy could spit at the cop, hit the cop. I'm gonna
have a gun and the whole shit, and they still be, taken alive and well.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just try to taser him. Not even tackle him down. Not even that.
Yeah, no.
And there might be many reasons for it. He might look at you and say, the black guy ain't gonna sue, but his white parents might. That's my job in the whole department. There could be an array of reasons.
So many.
You know what I'm saying? There could be an array of reasons. But to me, it's like, I can't be like, yo, that ain't fair. We gotta do this. I just gotta play chess. That's what I gotta do. Checkmate.
Yep.
I gotta see the whole board. I gotta know where the pieces are moving before they move. That's what I have to do, and that's how I'm going to be able to navigate myself through life. So maybe I got to turn it off. I got to turn the dominant down, transform, because I'm playing chess.
Yep.
So the cop ain't going to give me a ticket.
Or shoot
You got to
your
be
ass.
respectful, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Oh, you want my registration? I'm going to go get it right now. One hand on the wheel. And so I don't feel like I'm putting them in situation, because we're in this world living like this. And it's not just America.
Nope, it's all over.
So I got to know how to play chess to navigate. The white man might not. The Asian might not. But there's certain things about him or them that they're not going to get the same with me.
Yep, that's
that I'm
true.
going to get the same benefits. Could be with
That's true
women,
too.
could be with women, could be this, could be that. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Opportunities,
Yep.
certain industry dominating might be by certain races that they might not be, a lot of them.
Yep. Affirmative action.
Yeah, so it's just, I feel like the solution is knowing yourself, accepting this, understanding it. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with it. Like, that's what it comes down to, and just navigate.
Exactly.
So,
I agree.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the Disciplined Therapy Podcast. Peace.